A published map of the proposed Biafra Republic includes states that are recognized as Niger Delta, whose inhabitants are mostly smaller ethnic tribes, different cultural and historically from the Igbos tribe, who are the dominant tribes in the eastern heartland of Nigeria, an area associated with the agitations for the emergence of a Biafra nation out of Nigeria. These tribes and their states are mostly the Niger Deltas, who are neighbors to the Igbos and have been interrelating with them culturally, socially, and economically. The states include rivers Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, Delta, Edo, and Cross River. Apart from having close proximity to the proposed Biafra, these Niger Delta states are blessed with enormous mineral resources of crude oil and huge gas deposits, which is valued in hundreds of billions of dollars, thus making them a suitable bride to any rebel suitor. The Niger Delta states, apart from crude oil, are blessed with a favorable location, as some of them are bordered by the sea and ocean, hence they accessible to ports. They have also very large land mass which is suitable for growth and sustenance of agriculture. In addition, they are also boasts of a large population and a big market for goods and services. Little wonder that the progenitors of the Biafra nation eye the Niger Delta region as a suitable partner or area of which, if harnessed, will add much value to their nation and help to sustain its economic well-being. Okay. However, the desire to include Niger Delta state in the proposed Biafra has been rebuffed by many Niger Delta people made up of both elders and the youth of the region, though the Niger Delta sympathizes with the Igbo people quest for a separate nation of Biafra. They, however, would not want to be part and parcel of the proposed nation. The big question then arises as to whether Biafra nation can survive economically without her wealthy neighbor, the Niger Delta region. There is a line of thought that the Igbos, who are predominantly business people and traders, would not be able to survive on its own as a nation without the Niger Delta's petrodollars and even without the other tribes in Nigeria, because they depend on these tribes to sell their goods and make money. In the event of separation, it is argued that the Biafra nation will be too small and compacted and the population inadequate for the internal trading and achieve progress and prosperity. Though belonging to a different country do not stop one ordinarily from doing business with a foreign or neighboring countries, but again, this is subject to the external trade and import restrictions which can be imposed by such country on another from time to time. A Biafra nation without the Niger Delta will lose billions of petrodollars, which are accruable from Niger Delta's enormous crude oil and gas deposits. The loss of such revenue will impact negatively on their external foreign reserve and impose restrictions on their use of foreign currency. The scarcity of the dollars in a Biafra nation will rubbish the value of their national currency and lead to inflation and scarcity of essential items. The crude oil deposits in Abia and Imo State are not substantial to support the import bill of the new nation for 1 month. The coal deposit in Enugu has been abandoned for years and will require significant investment over the years to become commercially viable. A Biafra nation without the Niger Delta will have a small land mass which will not be sufficient for agriculture, especially food production. This may force the new nation to depend entirely on imported food from foreign nations, and such importation will put a serious pressure on the foreign reserves, which they obviously do not have in large supply. A Biafra nation without Niger Delta region is a landlocked country without any access to the sea or ocean. The only port of discharge they can boast of is the river port in Onitsha and Owerinta. Their location will disqualify them of a sea port for the import and export of their goods. Depending on a neighbor's seaport puts one in a dangerous position as your security and economy will be seriously compromised. A Biafra nation without the Niger Delta will cause them a huge reduction in population, as they will miss the advantage of adding over 22 million more people to their estimated 30 million. This is in effect means less demand for goods and services, less revenue from taxation, as well as fewer workforces to be engaged in companies and industries. A Biafra nation without the Niger Delta will also rob the Igbos of available suitors and maidens for marriage, as it is common knowledge that the Igbos are very compatible in marrying people of the Niger Delta as compared to the other tribes in Nigeria. The loss of Niger Delta will mean that citizens of Biafra will have to marry a foreigner with its attendant foreign toga and expenses whether such occasion arises. Despite these disadvantages which the Biafra nation might face without their wealthy neighbor, the Niger Delta, many believers in the cause of Biafra have refused to see any disadvantage. Rather, what they see are advantages, and their ability and faith in God to turn every disadvantage into an advantage. They argue that Biafra can and will survive without the Niger Delta or any other part of the Nigeria despite its small and land mass. The application of technology in agriculture will enable the new nation to get an optimal result in food production with enough excess for exports. The point to the nation of Israel, which is small in land mass yet feed a very big country like Nigeria. Biafra nation can survive without the Niger Delta crude oil and gas deposits because the Igbos currently are not benefiting from the crude oil resources anyway, hence they will miss nothing. Also, Biafra nation does not have crude oil and gas despite an oil gas deposits which are largely unexplored. There are other mineral deposits in the proposed nation such as coal and gold, cash crops like palm oil, palm kernel, rubber and cashew nuts among others are produced in commercial quantity. Biafra will depend also on foreign remittances sent by its large foreign nationals resident in foreign countries. It is estimated that the foreign remittances presently stands at over $5 billion annually. Biafra nation is not afraid of not having access to a seaport to export or import goods from abroad, as they can make use of the surrounding ports of their neighbors. Countries such as Ethiopia, Rwanda, and Uganda are all landlocked countries, but today they are better economically than Nigeria with over 5 seaports. The Biafra nation with a small landmass and even with a small population will perform better than countries with big populations. Its small population and land, if efficiently trained and managed, will produce better outputs and development. Countries such as Switzerland, Israel, Singapore, Netherlands, Qatar, Gabon, Equatorial Guinea, Oman, and Kuwait have smaller landmass and population but are better than Nigeria economically and in living standards. The arguments continue depending on which side of the coin you are, but seriously and sincerely speaking, can a new Biafra nation survive without the Niger Delta region? This is really food for thought. Honestly, food for thought. Everybody is entitled to his opinion. I quite understand what this writer is trying to say. First and foremost, of course, the later part of the whole thing, because when the writer started, he was talking about how Biafra cannot do without Niger Delta. And at the end of the day, he began to give reasons for even smaller countries now that we have. Of course, they've been mentioned: Singapore, Israel, and Kuwait, and Qatar, and all of that. How are they doing? The question I really want to ask, we need to be open-minded, because there are some things that even we see things in different way and in different perspective. And one thing I love is, try to be able to be objective and be open-minded. First and foremost, Nigeria put together. Let's even leave Biafra. Nigeria put together, even with the people who are Biafrans, who are still in Biafra, all of us put together. Where are we today? With all the, of course, I quite understand and really relate with what this writer is saying, that even Nigeria with 5 seaports, all other countries that they are calling landlocked or something, are they not better than us? What are we talking about? With everything that we have, I see no reason why. I don't even know if People have said they want to go their way. What is the problem? If they want to suffer, let them suffer. Why you crying more than the bereaved? They know what they are talking about. And even from an indication from history, after they lost the battle, where they lost the battle, that they could not win the battle in after the war, during the war, after the war, they lost everything. But go and see them today. What happened? Without oil, without anything. And that is where they rely, they depend their strength on. They rely, their strength is relied upon. Okay, now we are talking about Nigeria. Okay, the Niger Delta they are talking about. What, I don't even understand. The Niger Delta now that we are talking about, what have they done? Go and check the Niger Delta, whether you can even be proud. You can even say, okay, with all the things they say they have, how developed is that place? It is the same, these Igbos. I don't just understand. I don't even care. Somebody can say, oh, you are Biafran. Somebody has been telling me, okay, you are Biafran. No, we just need to be objective. And that is one thing. Even when Nnamdi Kanu, the way Nnamdi Kanu used to talk, I quite understand the way and manner at which he talks, which people don't even like, which I said, Nnamdi Kanu, you don't have to be insulting people. Just say whatever you want to say. You don't even need it. And a lot of people who are always going around insulting, you don't need it. Just explain what you feel like. Coming back to what we are talking about now, the Niger Delta that we are talking about, how developed it is. It is the same Igbos, because they believe in themselves. It's not by all this whatever you are inheriting this thing, you are inheriting one thing, you have oil, you don't have oil. At the end of the day, tell me how many Niger Deltas. It's not, we are just stating the fact. We are just stating the fact. How many Niger Deltas can you say, oh, these people are Niger Deltas and they are doing, collecting. When you talk of business, even we talk about business in this country, it is this same Biafrans, it is this same Igbos. When you talk of business, when you talk of real business, people who are into business, exports and imports, exporters and exporters, when you talk about, they are the ones. So what are we talking about? Leave them. Whether it is not by force. Even I don't even understand. Even the so-called the leadership of Biafra, forget any other person. Even if it is only 2 states you have in for your Biafra, so be it. The so-called Delta now, the Niger Delta, how developed? That's the question. How developed is that place now? What is so special? Have you people? We talk about the natural resources or the whatever. How has it helped the Niger Delta? Even Nigeria as a whole, put everything together, whether the North are into agriculture, whether the Biafrans, they are into business, whether the Southwest, they have their own whatever. Bring everything together. Where is Nigeria today? The smaller countries are even better than Nigeria. So what are we saying? That without Niger Delta, what is the oil? What has the oil done for us, even as a country? What is the special thing about this oil? Oil that in the nearest future, it will no longer have value. And that is why we are missing it in this country. Just mono economic, what do they call it? Only one product. We don't have anything. They will just be singing a song. Diversification from time immemorial to time immemorial. Diversification. Nothing. It is the same oil. And that's why we're having problem now. With this COVID-19, we're having problem here and there because we don't have any other thing that we depend on, that we can even say, yes, we have a other source of income in this country. Nothing. The same oil. The same oil. So they can do 100 times, in my opinion. If that is my opinion and I'm entitled to it. But if you have your opinion that is is contrary to what I'm saying, of course, let us know in the comment section. They can do billion times without Niger Delta. And you can see that anywhere you go, it's a fact. It's not as if one is trying to praise them. That is the fact. You can't rule that house. Go to anywhere in the world. You can see them. You see them. Out of nothing, they will bring something. So what is oil in the first place that we are just doing as if it's a big deal? The people who have the oil, how far has it helped them, even as a region? So what they are just they will just use that to be deceiving people. People should just be open-minded. They are using that one to deceive Niger Delta people. Oil. With the oil now, use yourself. Talk for yourself. Like I always say, we have a Niger Delta, but when it comes to this issue of amnesty, the people who are getting the opportunity, getting this and that, are they the ones from Niger Delta alone? No, the rest people are suffering. The essence of this thing, they would be deceiving them that, oh, you have oil, don't mix with the Eagles, don't do this and that. And yet, there's no meaningful development. Even the Niger Delta man, Because whether they say, okay, good luck, Jonathan, according to the way they have carved it, good luck, Jonathan is from Niger Delta, with him being the president at that time, of what he used. See the region. You can't even be proud of that region as far as development is concerned. Structural development is concerned. You can't be proud of it. And if you know the kind of money they will always talk about, they invest in that place. So what are we talking about? Those who have their hands that can work, those are the things we are talking about. We're not talking of what you are inheriting that you cannot even produce. It's unfortunate. That is my own opinion. Just like the writer said, my own opinion is that Igbos, Biafra, they can do billion times without Niger Delta. That is it. They can do much more better. They can thrive much better. I don't know. I might not be able to put it well the way you understand, maybe well articulated, but I know, of course, you can try to deduce or just get what I'm trying to say. They can do 100 million times better without Niger Delta. So let us hear your opinion. Please leave your comments. Please let us keep it neat, respectfully. Make your point without abusing anybody. That's just the way it is. Leave your comment below and let's have your take. Wow.